Woo! We are ready for another dope episode of Stormwatch, your direct commentary recap show with the Murewa Ayodele. Is this? Are we
Hi
safe to
guys.
say that Murewa is now the #1 storm rider of all time? Let me not get ahead of
No.
myself. Chris Claremont is somewhere going, who? What?
Ooh.
What happened to Antoine? Antoine got blipped out of existence. Let's bring him back.
He'll be back shot.
Okay, I don't know what happened. All right, I'm back.
Somebody Thanos snapped you, bro. All right. So welcome everyone to the show. We got people piling in. I did not share this video at the last minute. I just realized that I did that 2 nights in a row. That's all right. I'll get to it in a second. Let's say what's up, Marwan Williams. Thank you, sir, for being here. We had an early person in here. One of our newest members, Dwayne Kendall, in the house. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
William Bethea 8703. Thank you for joining the Black Comic Awards as a subscriber. We appreciate that, helping support the channel, supporting the work that we're doing. Really appreciate you. Kevin Pitts in the building. Always
Kevin.
loyal. Junior Carter 9175. Stormwatch 30. Let's go, man. We're gonna do our thing tonight. Who else we have in here? Silver Space Sentry. Is Storm still all right? That's a question. We'll save that for later. So give us all of your questions. Morel will answer each and every one of them at the end of the show. Our producer, Dr. Wizard, will star the questions for our question and answer session. Anthony Davis, what's up? We've got Vixel Lane. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Core 13. What's up? Another question there. Star that. My brother Darius. What's up? President Street in the house. Represent. Brooklyn, stand up.
Hey.
The Lurker 4773. Space Sentry. And the Lurker. All right. So we've gone through our initial people. Okay. So let's do a recap. Where are? It seems like it's been like 3 months since we had a last.
No,
it's like a long
time.
It just feels that way.
Was it a month or is it like it's got to be like 6 weeks?
No, it's not 6 weeks.
It's been a month.
I think it's just a month. It's
been about a month and maybe a couple of days. Yeah,
that's crazy, man. It seems like it's been so long since we had another last episode. All right, let's bring up where we're at. Let's add this to the stage. All right, Antoine, if you would,
sure,
recap and let us know where we're at.
So this is Storm in a very relatable position, I might say, because how many of us have had a bad day at work like this, where we just have to take a shower and let it all out? She's just grappling with the idea that not only has she failed an entire city from being demolished by a magical invasion, but she's dealing with feeling like she has no honor because she feels as though she's betrayed Susanu, who she had to put down because he was threatening to destroy the planet. And then we see, of course, her Black Lightning, because this is an indicator, as we talked about last time, of her mood. So when we see the Black Lightning, she's not in the best of moods, and you may be in danger.
Now, what does the Black Lightning represent, Maria?
It's not been revealed yet, but so far it's when she's in a better mood, it's white. When it's she's in a bad mood, not necessarily just sadness or depression, but anger and frustration, it goes dark, and it's something that she got when she rejected eternity, which is she went through trauma. So it's like if something reminds her of almost that trauma and anger that she felt, a lightning switches to that moment.
All right. Next, we have this moment. After trauma, you kind of need to lie down.
Yeah. And Storm, it seems like a recurring theme in this series where people just keep waking her up out of her sleep. She can never sleep peacefully.
I never thought about
from
that.
Yeah,
from Tony
it's
Stark to
yeah, it's just, and now we have the Scarlet Witch waking her up, in the middle of the night.
yeah,
It's like this couldn't have waited till the morning.
yeah, that giant bird too.
Yes, the giant bird. Yep, in X-Men. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean in Storm number
Razor
3.
Bill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and this is the mystery that she thinks or she believes that Storm may be connected to, which we find more about in this issue.
And that's what brings us to this issue. Dope covers, dope covers, dope covers. I mean, we have the cover A. We've got our FBI. Do we know the name of this FBI team yet?
yeah, the FBI.
They're just the FBI, just the feds. So superpowered feds. Do we know if they're mutants or mutates?
Mutates probably,
Mutates, probably.
but we've not reviewed it.
All right. Well, we know that they're feds. That's all that matters. These are the ones that were trying to assassinate Storm at one point. But this second cover, second cover, but my man, as my boy Chocolate says, Lord Chocolate, TC, Torrin Clark.
It's a beautiful homage.
Look, man, there have been a lot of dope covers in Murewa Ayodele's Storm run. But damn, if this wasn't probably top 5 covers of all time. Definitely in the top 5. And that's saying a lot because there's a lot of dope covers. I think I bought an extra one of this just on principle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's funny because Doom is mentioned in this one too.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that was going to be a cover.
But it just worked out perfectly. And it's funny because it's very descriptive of what's talked about, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, so that is how much demeanor melts away. It's exactly that.
Now
some of these are variants, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean the incentive variant. This I threw in here. Your buddies with Gail Simone, who's as an aside doing some really dope work on Uncanny X-Men. That whole Dark Artery storyline with the introduction of the Regulators and Lady Henrietta, phenomenal. I've absolutely loved that storyline. She has an annual coming out in about a month. You can still pre-order it, although I think the FOC just passed this past Monday. You can still hit up your local comic shop. Highly recommend you ask them to add this to your pull list and get that Uncanny X-Men annual, because I think that story is going to be kind of special. She's got a co-writer on it. I can't remember the sister's name. I want to say it's Melissa something. But anyway, it's just a book I'm really looking forward to. I just thought I'd mention that as an aside, given that we're talking about the mutant verse here.
Yeah, and I think what I heard about FOC recently is that I think for FOC, it's just that you can't reduce your orders after that date. You can certainly increase your orders after that date.
Yeah.
So even though FOC has passed, you can still pre-order. It still actually helps the book.
Yeah.
This is where
that's how the second printings are generated before the book is released. Because sometimes they'll have their set amount and then they'll order more and it's like, we got to go print more because we ran out.
This is where my producer's supposed to do that one to grow on meme, but he's not doing his job or whatever. That's all right. That's fine. I appreciate quid pro quo. Mickey Kendall is the co-writer of this issue. So very much looking forward to that. Shout out to Mickey Kendall. I'm really, I just get the feeling. It's the feeling I have that this is going to be a dope issue. Now, if the issue's trash for some other reason, please do not send me your bill and say I owe you money for that issue.
I've got to the advanced copy, but I've not read it yet. But going through it, the art is spectacular. Wow.
Who's the artist on it? Is it Marquez still? David Marquez?
No. But the art actually kind of has that vibe and the colors too.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
All right. So you guys have been warned. I think this is going to be a dope issue. You might want to go check it out. All right. Next up. Let's get into this book. And along the lines of backstory for the recap. Did a very good job on the first page. Bringing up, you packed a lot of stuff in this book.
Yeah, I had to. There's a set number of pages that is dedicated that I can work on. So it's 20 story pages and 1 letters page. So and I really wanted to do this TV style recap page, previously on The Flash, So yeah, it's like previously on the Eternal Storm saga, So I really wanted that page because this story is going to get thick and broad and so many things, and I wanted to just remind the audience of some key things before we go into the story. We're also seeing that, which is understandable, a lot of people have busy lives and so many things, and they forget plot points. So when things happen, it feels like, why is this happening? So those recap helps refresh people's mind, like this is why this is happening. So but I had to sacrifice the letters page, so that's why there's no letters page in this issue. So it's painful, but it's
that's why we
engaging.
have the show. We don't need a letters page. You can bring your questions here to be addressed.
True.
Shameless plug. All right, so I love the fact that in the recap you actually tell what issue people can go back and find these points. So this is issue number 11. Issue number
when
11.
Galactus was getting juiced.
You know what? The last time when we had that episode, issue 11, and you used that same term, Galactus is getting juiced, and I had no idea what you're talking about until now.
Yeah.
Purple goo was removed from Galactus. We don't know what happened to it until this episode. We'll talk about it in a second.
Until this issue, yeah.
All right. In the first issue, Storm goes to France. I forget the name of the city. Biarritz, France. That's being attacked by these. I keep wanting to call them the Foot Clan from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they're more fearsome than that. They're wreaking havoc. What do you have a name for them?
Ebora Okuta or something. That was the name I gave them.
Yeah, that word. But they're being led by Akujun. We don't know who her loyalty is to, what her powers are per se. But we do find out that she is indeed immortal, and she has a someone that she is loyal to. And then previously, at the end of your other Storm run, before we switched to the crossover series that the X titles had, was this basically like the last page where we see that Jericho Drum, Dr. Voodoo, my dude, is captured by Death. And she is in, as I like to call her, Thick Death, but that's a whole other story. He is left in her thrall with her dead minions. We don't know what's going to happen. She apparently is trying to recruit him to be a soldier in her army, maybe a captain in her army is what I'm guessing. And then finally, with all her trials and tribulations, and in fact, her what do you call it? The trials of Storm. What was the term that you used?
Labor.
The labors of Storm, which led to her ascendancy of becoming Earth's mightiest mutant and Earth's protector.
And at the end of these labors will come a child.
At the end of these labors comes a child with fangs.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's a terrible dad joke, sorry.
We'll talk about that in a few months. Anyway, so emotional turmoil evidenced by this black lightning. All right, let's jump into it. Matt, look, before I even say a word, before I say a word, brother, you were mad wordy in this book. You had a
Sorry.
lot of This no, that's not a criticism.
Hmm.
I'm from the old, I'm an old comic book head. So this reminded me of classic comics from the Bronze Age, which were made for people that were literate. You we don't get good exposition in comics anymore because people are like, this is too much reading. I just want to see whiz and bang and move on to my next endeavor.
But then when you do that, they say it's not enough words.
And then they say it's not enough words. So you were mad wordy, but everything, you packed a lot into this. And I noticed that you in this particular run have gone in the last several issues of stuff that you've done. Your panels are becoming smaller,
Yeah.
and you're packing more story in it, and you're also getting more exposition and dialogue as well, because you're trying to pack so much into the little tiny 20 pages they give you. The reality is you really just need a graphic novel to do what you do. That's how much space that you need to really cook. You need a full-on graphic novel to tell the type of storytelling that you need to do.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes I wish this series was coming out like bi-weekly.
yeah, like how Spider-Man does in the summer every year. They need to make this like a bi-weekly thing for you to really get stuff cranked out. But Marvel, we'll talk about that some other day. Manned, Homeworld of the Mandos. So the Star Wars guy, and he's like, Mandalorians? Like, what are you talking about? The Mandos. What are the Mandos? Can you tell us? Or do you know?
Yeah, I think what's the name of the creator of Thanos?
The Titans?
Creator of Thanos. The writer.
Oh, Jim Starlin?
Yeah, I
Was it
think Jim
Jim
Starlin created them. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So yeah, they're called the Mandos. Yeah, they just showed up in like a comic, I think, in Quasar, in an old Quasar comic. It's just the old reference. I think they showed up in an old Quasar comic, the Mandos. So yeah,
right.
so I decided to just the stories that they are the eighth planet to their sun, so it's very cold. So I just try to imagine what their world would look like based on what we've seen of them in those old classic comics. Yeah, thank you,
Your
Doctor.
boy Dutan tells it's Jim Starlin and Mike Friedrich.
Yeah, thanks.
I was half right. You also referenced the City of Spores, Reverence. I've seen ancient masters of the mystic arts brought to their knees by suckling sorcerer's apprentice with a misshapen toothpick for am I reading like J.K. Rowling or Charles Dickens? That's the level of exposition you're putting in this book. It's actually kind of refreshing
Thank you.
to have a comic book not sound like a comic book. It sounds like prose. It's kind of dope.
Literature.
Man. It's literature. It is writing for literate people. And not to put too fine a point on it. I'm being serious when I say back in the day, in the Bronze Age, Silver Age, etc., comics were written at a much higher level of literacy. Like comics today are written at like 6th grade level almost in many respects. I'm not saying that for everyone. I'm talking mostly mainstream comics, but you did some good stuff here. Anyhow,
Yeah.
visual.
Both.
Look at this. Look at this. This is grotesque.
Yeah.
I have not yet seen you do a full-on horror book, but the idea both intrigues and scares the crap out of me.
Now, if I'm putting horror in like fantasy stuff, like what would happen if I'm going to go full horror. I think it's, I don't think Marvel will publish it.
No. You're clearly gonna have to do that in your next job as a independent guy again. I want to see you do some We'll talk about that later. Marvel might be watching us, but yeah. But this, it's not a Murewa Ayodele story until someone's head gets chopped off. In
Yeah,
this
or
instance,
limbs.
it's limbs are. This instance, you got both on the same page where head's not
Yeah.
chopped off; it's torn off. Limbs are torn off. You got zombies. What am I looking at? This is visual overload. What am I looking at?
I think how I described it to the artist is, there's zombie Doctor Strange, and coming out of his back but wrapped around him in a grotesque way, chains that are linked to like giant magical ants, that have like mystical tattoos and mystical rings on them, and it's with those ants that he commits atrocities.
What's the name of your artist on this book?
Frederica Manson.
Damn.
And she did a Blade comic, so when it comes to going horror, she's actually very good at it.
Yeah, props to her, man. This is incredible visuals.
Like it's funny how the universe has just been providing the necessary artists for the right story. Lucas Warneck, and Lucas Warneck was illustrating some of the emotional and the stories that needed huge designs, for the clothing and for the locations and everything. Luciano Virtuo came in for the action-packed episodes, and for the epic issues, it was Mario Santoro. And now that we're going into magic that is going to be scary, and this thing, we have Federica Manson. So it's just awesome.
Damon's asking if this is a new character. Isn't this Doctor Strange?
It's Doctor Strange, but zombified version.
Yeah.
So it's new, not new. I can't say we'll be seeing more of him yet.
All right, Serpent Valley, Crimson Cosmos. I've never heard of this place. Is this a new place, or did you dig through the crates like you normally do?
I created Serpent Valley, but the Crimson Cosmos is the realm of Sitarak.
Sitarak, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the dude that gives Juggernaut his powers.
Right.
You're taking
and the Crimson Bands.
You're taking us on the tour of the mystical realms.
Yes.
You already had Storm go through Thunder War, in which we took
the cosmic realms.
And then we went through the cosmic realms. We went through the realms of the storm gods. And now you're taking us to the mystical realms of
exactly
the 616 universe.
Yes.
We have the new Sorcerer Supreme, the Scarlet Witch, visiting with Storm. They're buddies. They're tight. This was an interesting few pages.
Should we do a little exercise?
Please.
Can we count how many Wanda are in just one panel?
On just one panel? I see.
Oh, just
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, at least 18, not including this one that's in the reflection.
Yeah, so in just one panel, I think last time I counted to like 16 full, Wandas. That's the level of, world building and background details and stuff that Frederica puts in her art. This is just a tiny panel, and she drew 16 Wandas.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like I'm blowing up,
and it just makes everything feel real and just understand it.
Right, I'm blowing up. These are small panels on the page, but I'm blowing them up.
Yeah,
and you can see the level of detail that Frederica put into this work. So you're not missing anything by him going smaller with the panels. because of the level of detail that's in the
That
work.
Federica puts there.
He's just
Backgrounds are always
giving
very
you.
detailed. Everything.
He's giving all of you your money's worth. If you're gonna spend $4.99, I don't remember how the cost of these comics are anymore.
$3.99. This one's $3.99.
$3.99.
Yeah.
He's giving you every penny out of your $3.99 and more. So
We
except
are, though, as it's
except for the digital version this time, but it's corrected now.
okay. What do you mean? What happened to the digital version?
It was missing the last page.
Oh! Wow, that would
Yeah.
have made me mad.
but they've updated it now.
Yeah, and we can talk about that when we get to the last page.
All right.
Because yeah.
So here's the exposition from the Scarlet Witch. Everything about what we referring to the mystics, sorcerers, etc. Everything about what we do requires deceit to appear weak when we are strong, strong when we are weak, to appear close when we are far, and far when we are close. It's all a dance of lies, and the better we are at it, the deadlier we are. You've dipped your toes in magic now and again, Storm. I would love nothing more than to share this part of my life with you, but at this moment, you are not yet part of it in the way that you want. You, on the other hand, have a parasitic relationship with truth and order. Man, you were dropping some bars here.
Yeah, the mystics are inspired by some of my experiences with reading, like Doctor Strange comics, Wanda comics, and all these comics. But another thing that's inspired, me or my take for mystics is Shanzu. That's the author of The Art of War.
Yeah.
So that was my inspiration for my take on mystics.
Deception as a tactic of war. Yeah, makes sense.
To appear close when you're far, far when you're close, weak when you're strong, those stuff. Those are, kind of Shansu techniques. And we have seen warfare.
Peace through the appearance of superior firepower. All right. So, but in describing the realm of mystics in general, Scarlet Witch brings it specifically back to Aurora and how she fits into this. She says, you, on the other hand, have a parasitic relationship with truth and order. And Storm retorts, you've seen me summon raging winds and create turbulent tides, and yet you describe me with the word order. She goes, yeah, those are just imitations of chaos. You vibrate molecules to exude heat, condense the steam in the air to create rain, swirl winds around yourself to fly. Even your raging winds are just the result of your rapid alteration of temperature, of the alteration of the planet's magnetism. Everything you do has a logical cause and effect. In essence, what the Scarlet Witch seems to be saying, and I want to get your comment on this, is that Storm is an energy manipulator. That's something you established in your runs, that she's not just someone who can make it rain and do lightning bolts. Her primary power is the ability to manipulate energy. But energy is chaos, is what Scarlet Witch is saying. These are primordial forces of nature that do not run on order. It's run on chaos. And as an energy manipulator, for all intents and purposes, her power set is to bring order to that chaos, to direct it elsewhere. Is that what you're basically saying here?
Yeah.
All right. That's interesting to have it described that way. I had never really thought of it that way. It's pretty dope. This is the part that really gets me. You are friends with Stephen Strange, Jericho Drum, Ileana Rasputin, and many other sorcerers. Victor Von Doom's armored demeanor melts away around you. Torrin Clark cover. I believe your relationship with witches and warlocks has made you gravely underestimate the challenge ahead of you. Aurora, unlike your ever straightforward self, all your favorite sorcerers are tricksters.
Tricksters.
Man, I'm just gonna sit back. I need you to explain this, brother.
Like, you know, it's kind of painful because um I made a mistake while writing this page, which is I think this issue I don't know if it was destined for mistakes and pages and stuff. Is you're supposed to write a 20-page script,
Yeah.
and for this issue I wrote a 21-page script
Yeah, more like
by
25.
error
Go ahead.
because I had like 2-page 11s or something. So that was what happened. After this dialogue, you're supposed to have the iconic title pages of Zombie Strange, doing this Shell
That's
and
right. We
P
didn't have a
game,
title page. Yeah.
Shell and P kind of thing with with Little Storm, and you see him being a old trickster and everything, but the line is just emphasizing, especially Doctor Strange and most of Loki. If you look at practically all the magic users that we as the audience love, not just Storm, they're all tricksters. Doctor Strange is a trickster, Loki is a trickster, Scarlet Witch is a trickster. Look at all our favorites, magic users, they're all tricksters. So it's also me kind of like winking at the audience a little, like it seems all of you don't like trustworthy people.
I mean, think about it. Whenever you see Doctor Strange go to battle with something, what is one of the first moves he does? Is he splits himself up into like a dozen versions of himself, so you don't know which one's him.
Yeah, if the first Doctor Strange movie ends with him basically tricking, Dormammu. That's how he wins. It's not through a
Yeah,
fight or anything.
right.
I've come to bargain. Comes back here. I've done, puts him in the time loop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the other interesting one last thing before we move on, the other interesting thing about this for me is I think it also sort of clears up a little bit of why we may never really see Storm go that far into magic. I'm not saying that she won't do some of it, but there's a reason kind of why she won't go too far into that world unless it's absolutely necessary, which is kind of what Wanda is saying. She's like, you're too straight laced for this, bro. Like this isn't for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Like
You're
you're
way
about
too
truth.
honest.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You
Um. Yeah. I think people mentioned that she's a thief. She can she can maneuver and stuff. But look at how bad she felt
yes,
for issue 1 for just tricking
exactly. For
Susano.
tricking Susan. Oh yeah.
And she's like, I have no honor, I have no. And it's like, dude, if you're going to perform magic, that's what you're going to do every single time. There is no honor in magic. There is no, I don't hit, I don't attack people behind their backs, or I'm going to, Storm is not somebody that will probably give you warning, before she attacks you, everything. Look at Shango, you know, she appears to Shango, strategically, but it still kind of gives him time to react,
Yeah. Even
She doesn't
before
just
she told
attack straight.
him. She told him to
Yeah,
sleep with your eyes wide open. I'm
you
coming
know,
for
you
you.
know,
Like
yeah, those are things magic users wouldn't do. They want you to sleep with both your eyes closed before they come for you.
You
So
mentioned a good point though. She has been a thief in her youth, right?
yeah,
And as a warrior, what is her favorite weapon of choice? Blades,
blades. Yeah,
right? She's a knife fighter. Knife fighters being fighting with knives requires a level of deception because
oh
there are
yeah, she also
things there,
conceals them too.
and she conceals them exactly. That Marauders issue where she's taking out all the blades and she's got like a dozen blades concealed
right.
throughout her body at all times. So even though she has grown to be the honorable, truthful leader that we know,
She's still capable of it. But
she can get gutter with it if she needs to. She's
If she
done it
needs
yeah,
to.
many times.
Yeah.
So just because she doesn't like to do a thing and
she
feels
doesn't
bad
like to do.
about a
That's the
thing
point. Yeah,
Right.
she feels.
doesn't
Yeah.
mean she's not incapable of doing a thing. That's the
Exactly.
difference.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's
Scarlet
different.
Witch is
She's
like,
capable of it. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Storm, you're prissy, you're a former queen, you're a goddess type. You don't want to be down here with us. We're just scumbag tricksters and not realizing, not giving Storm her due. She can get gully with it too if she needs to. It's just a choice with her. It's not an incapability, it's a choice. She chooses to not be gutter when she doesn't have to be. But doesn't mean she
Exactly.
can't, and she's not willing to do it because she has. So
She has.
this intrigues me because this is like some severe foreshadowing of how gully are we going to see Storm get in the mystical realm.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to it. And then this is her retort. Look, I appreciate you being concerned about me getting some dirt on my cape, but I have a war to prepare for. You go to war, you do what you got to do to fight. So she's very pragmatic. Now, I do have these questions. We have these word bubbles, right? We have these thought bubbles in the
They
black
were
back.
like, yeah, there were like 3 more words. Editorial had to cut them because they were just too much for that panel.
What's with who's she talking to? Whose voice is these thought bubbles?
It's her talking to herself. The way you steel yourself for battle. And I wanted it to be more because I wanted to also show that in her mind she's also facing claustrophobia. That even her own words are choking herself. So that's why I wanted more on the panel, and seeing her think different thoughts of um what happened in the last run. That she assembled a team. That's what Storm would do rather than do things alone. She took Maggot and
Manifold.
Manifold to battle, but because this is a new domain, this is magic. She lost both of them. One to injury, one to death. And here is Wanda again, and if anything happens to her, she would have to be responsible for her death too. But she also understands that Wanda is strong and powerful and can hold her own, but she doesn't want to take that risk too. And she's like, I think I've tried I've tried the team effort thing. you know it just hurts more people, especially in the last issue where we had this superhero death siren that died. So it's like, I think here I'm going to try doing it on my own. If someone is going to die, it's better it's me than someone else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think Antoine, you pointed out at one point in one of these shows that there was a lack of word bubbles in the series. So
Yeah.
what caused this change, Maria, where we weren't really seeing thought bubbles from her before? Now, let me rephrase my question. We never really saw any thought bubbles from her until she got rid of the extra entity that was housing her, using her as a host for his power, eternity.
Yeah.
She went through much of your run with a duality of existence, of having this parasitic entity, eternity, riding her all this, for many issues. Since she has expelled him, now we have her talking to herself, like having full on conversations with herself. Is this a byproduct of her having that experience with eternity?
Yeah. There is the story reason and the real world reason. Anytime I go into a story, I try to determine what are the tools that I would like to use. Um, For something like I Am Iron Man, I decided no narration at all, just dialogue. Iron Man is a character that talks a lot already, like Spider Man. It's like, yeah, I just wanted to see the story, want to talk all the technical jargons, everything, and let's just enjoy the visual spectacle and the intellectual exchanges between Tony Stark and all these characters. Um, for Akogun Brutalizer of Gods, I knew my character is the strong, silent type, and but I also knew that the story was going to take place, in different realms, different layers and stuff. Like, okay, I need an omniscient narrator to kind of make us understand, that, oh, we are leaving Earth, we are going into the gods, tell us things about Shango and Ogun that we didn't know and stuff like that. So went with omniscient narrator, and I brought that to Storm, because I knew that Storm was going to go through cosmic challenges. She was going to have issues with oblivion, eternity, and all these things. And I wanted us to, I wanted Storm to, I wanted us to be on the edge of our seat of what is Storm going through in her mind, what all these things. But I didn't want the audience to be lost as well, because Storm doesn't know eternity. Storm doesn't know oblivion. Storm doesn't know all these entities and things about them, their backstories and everything. So I needed somebody to walk the hands of the audience, and that was the omniscient narrator. So that was the balance. So but we're getting more and more feedback from readers that they would love to get some interiority into Storm, what she's going through. But I still couldn't do it, because if you just put it in the story, it breaks the story. It's a cosmic thriller, and just suddenly knowing what's going on in her mind robs it of the thriller factor.
Mm.
You know, it's if you've watched all those good thrillers, you're not sure what's going on in the you're not sure what's going to happen next. You're not sure what's going on in the characters' minds. That's what adds to the suspense. That's what adds to the surprise. That's what adds to the shock. And everything. It's just that's what thrillers are, and we get a lot of horror, we get a lot of action in comics, but we don't get a lot of thrillers. So just wanted to do that. So now that we're going into mystic stuff, and things we'll be exploring here are not completely things out of Storm's range. She's had experiences with her ancestors. She has Wanda, she has people that can walk her through this. It's not as extreme as like Oblivion, One Above All, and stuff. So I was like, okay, so now we can have that interiority. So, and it makes sense for this part of the story. So are ejecting eternity from her mind, now that eternity is not playing a bigger role in this story, find a way to just link it up, the real world to the story world. So in the story world, we can see our mind now. Our mind is a little clearer because she has rejected eternity, and but in the real world sense, it's to see how we can carry the readers along more. Just like the
Mm.
reason why we have more text.
Mm. So one of the things when we first started doing the show, and there were previews as to things to come, one of the things that was brought out was Storm was going to try to get into politics at some point. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened to that storyline, but we have this scene where she's at what appears to be the Storm Sanctuary, and she's got microphones and she's addressing a larger crowd, and she makes a speech about "I believe in America." Um, I do not just mean the patch of land bordered by Alaska and Maine. I believe in the people who call this land home. I believe in the people through kindness and sacrifice make this land perpetually feel like home to their fellows. I believe in you. You have another job as a speechwriter someday if you wish. Where'd you get this from? What
Um,
inspired this?
yeah, your first question. Yeah, Storm was supposed to run for office. Um, I I even had a whole issue one, centered around running for office, similar to Brian Kevin's, Ex Machina, you know, where there's this balance of she's running for office and a superhero work, you know. But it didn't get the green light. I think Marvel, the offices thought it's the current climate of things right now, telling the story of our running for office, everything we say will be interpreted in ways we don't want them to be. So, and they're
Just like
like,
this page
maybe,
today.
so they're like, so maybe we should stay clear of it. So I also had to abandon that plot line and, focus on the, war above all strictly. Um, this page is basically, it's inspired by different things, is is inspired from by my own experiences where you've felt abandoned by the government, you felt abandoned by the system, you felt abandoned by everything, but if someone asks you, where are you from, you used to say, Nigeria, with pride even. And sometimes you have to recontextualize, where that pride is coming from. So, are you a Nigerian because of the government? Are you a Nigerian because of the land? Are you Nigerian because of this? But it's you feel some level of pride because of the people, the good people there,
Mhm.
the people that encourage you, the people that make you feel proud, the people that support you, you know. So yeah, and I think that's how people see things more now. So that's it's from that part. The second one is, immigration. If you've spoken to a number of immigrants, either in America or anywhere else, the people that make, that line, the people that through kindness make this foreign place feel like home, it's a serious blessing, Um, here they can be, slight tribalism here that, oh, Yoruba, Yoruba does things better than Igbo does this, but you get to like the UK, the US, and stuff like that, and it's someone from another tribe that maybe some people have told you things about false things, they are the ones that help you and make it feel like you are in Nigeria once again, and so many things. So it's all those kind of kindness, and and a little of it is also coming from the Godfather, the movie, the speech by the immigrant that was reporting his abused daughter, to the Godfather. And his speech, before he talks about what happened to his daughter, the speech was, I believe in America, you know. And even though he had just gone through this terrible thing, even though technically it's Americans that have just done this terrible thing, he's still saying, I believe in what it can be. I believe in what, yeah, I believe in what it can be. I believe it can be home, So yeah, that's where all those everything is just coming from for that speech per se.
Before she even utters a word, she inhales and exhales, and you see this, you know, condensation come out of her mouth. Is that steam or is it frost?
It's just is let's say just steam. It's just breath. Sha.
Okay. All right. So we're back in Atlanta, her, for all intents and purposes, home city. and she indicates to the people during the speech that she's dispatched her storm engines. Now, we had that crossover series with the other mutant titles in which we did some time
Rogue
jumping.
Storm.
Right, we did some time jumping, and we saw the storm engines for the first time. So, is this like a prequel to that? Is this happened? This particular happened before? God, I
Yeah,
hate
since
time
that
travel.
happens,
It makes my head hurt.
yeah, since that's like 10 years later kind of thing. Yeah, it's later. So it's if you read that book, you know that, oh man, the storm engines are very powerful, machines. So you have that context if you read that story.
All right. It says, "Do not fear them, though born of extraterrestrial origins. They are loyal guardians and proven allies to whom I would entrust my very life."
Which technically she does in Rogue Storm. She entrusts her life to them they are the ones that protect her from the X Force.
Do you plan on dropping the origin story of the storm engines anytime soon?
Um, I'm not sure we'll get enough issues to wrap up that story, but we'll see.
All right. All right. So here's the money page, man. One of the things that was touted in this issue is that we have a first appearance, which makes this a comic book key issue. So for all you collectors, if you don't have more than one copy of this issue, you're doing yourself an injustice, because this is the first appearance of, go ahead, Murewa.
The Marvel 616 Galacta.
Who is Galacta?
Gil Arakawa. She's named after two of my favorites, female comic book authors. Gil Simone wrote my favorite run of Red Sonja, and Hiromu Harakawa, who wrote Full Metal Alchemist, the manga series, Full Metal Alchemist.
It apparently, Gail Arakawa was developed in a lab under project code name Galacta.
Yeah, inside some Galactus goo.
This is the now. Was she made out of the goo, or was she a human being who was enhanced by the
Imbued. In my head, she's a human that was imbued with Galactus goo.
Okay. And this is her outfit over here to the right with the weapons.
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, we see the headdress that's reminiscent of Galactus. Some samurai stylings here, and a hammer.
Yeah.
A hammer.
Yeah, that's the Japanese warhammer.
Always attention to detail. All right. In the next issue, will we see Galacta in action?
Issue 5. I think it might be issue 5. But we'll see a little cameo of her in next issue.
A collective blurred niche says, was thought Galacta was created by Adam Warren?
I think that's it's an alternate version of Galacta. There's no Galacta in 616. This is the first appearance of 616 Galacta.
I see. All right. Introducing other new characters. We have this group here. Can you explain who this group is?
Oh yeah, so we have Akujin, and I wanted characters that she would bounce off, because she had the uncanny X-Force to bounce off in Rogue Storm. So here I wanted our own characters. So I was like, okay, what's the equivalent of Akujin in Yoruba mythology? So that's Inwi. And what's the equivalent of that in the English mythology? And that's Bogi. So both Akujin, Inwi, and Bogi mean the same thing. It's both evil spirits. So yeah, so we had the sick designs for all of them. Ewin's design looks awesome. So yeah, and they're discussing how to rescue their master while discussing it over the map of the Marvel cosmology. Yeah,
We have the House of Ideas, the upper
upper
realm,
realms, the Oblivion
um,
Void,
Oblivion Void, Eternity's ever expanding universe, space time,
and
and the realm
the
of death.
realm of death.
Wow. Did you come up with this design, or is that from somewhere else? This demonstration of the various realms.
Came up with the design. Doctor helped me illustrate it, and then sent it to Federica. Then Federica was able to reproduce it in this beautiful way.
All right. Well, shout out to the ton. Now we know Akajun. We met her last issue. Can you let's talk about these other two characters? Let's start with the one in green. Are those horns in
Yeah,
her head?
yeah, those are ones. We'll get to know more about them as the story unfolds. But right now, they're just discussing tactics.
Okay. We can remove Hades and Persephone, usurp their control over their army. So this is a war council. They're having a war council for the coming. What's the name?
They are war generals for someone.
Who is mentioned in here?
No, it's not.
Not mentioned. All right.
His location is mentioned, but the name is not mentioned.
Yeah. So they're planning on taking on Olympus. That sounds.
Yeah, they're planning out to get to Earth and have enough army to be able to take down a major stronghold on Earth. They're trying to decide if they should take down New York, which is the hub of all the superheroes, most of the superheroes in the Marvel universe, or to take down Berlin Zana, capital of Wakanda, which is also like a major stronghold. So
No, not a major stronghold. I believe the words you used on the page was the greatest strong. Shout out to Wakanda. I got my Wakanda shirt on. Shout out to Wakanda. Represent. The greatest stronghold on Earth.
Yeah, so they need to buff up their army to be able to, if Thanos couldn't do anything, so they need to beef up their army. So while trying to look for where they can get recruits and how they can transport them through all those realms, they would need to go through the underworld. And Hades and Persephone would not want that army, to go through the underworld. And they're like, what if you just kill Hades? And it's like, if we kill Hades, the Olympian gods will wage a war against us. So it's like, okay.
So let's recap this conversation. We have this war council who's working for a big bad who has not been revealed yet, but we know they're powerful. We can assume they're powerful just based on the last issue and what Akujin did with the army that she had.
So they're kind of they can easily kill Hades.
Right. And they're saying we can take out Hades and Persephone, who are actual Olympians. And they're like, well, if we do that, we're going to be going to war with Olympians. It's going to be a long and bloody battle, but they're not blinking at it. A considerable amount of time, effort to find the master. I could teleport our army from Dimension Blood directly to Earth. I mean, this is a full-on invasion of Earth type thing. They're not messing around. And then they talk about, which city should we gotta flex our power to subjugate these humans on Earth. Which one of their major cities should we take out? New York or Berlin Zonen? Berlin Zonen's got the greatest stronghold. But there's an additional incentive for going to Berlin Zana is the fact that they have vibranium. Yeah. And they want to present the vibranium to Hera, the goddess Hera. But then this last line, which I starred here, Wakanda guards many secrets besides its precious metal. That's where you jump in and throw me a bone and let me know what you're talking about in my land.
And say maybe it's the Tubu Ebora, you know, from the short story of Black Panther. Maybe that's what they're after. We'll find out in subsequent issues.
That
I don't really get
honestly,
it.
that would be pretty freaking clever and cool of you at the same time to tie in
Yeah.
what you did in the Black Panther 60th anniversary special. You can check out the video on the Black Comic Lords YouTube channel. With this storyline, that would be incredibly cool. For those who did not watch that episode, who've not read that book, Murewa did one of the things I've been complaining about for many years, is that not enough writers tap into Wakanda's mystical realm. He did that in a way that was large. Well, he was himself. He did what he does when it comes to mystical stuff, and expanded that in Wakandan lore in a very cool fashion. And you saw characters and designs that would be interesting to see replicated in the midst of this mystical war that he has coming, the war of
That
above all.
design is dope.
It is. So if you squeeze it in here, I'll be happy. To say the least. Anyway. So back on Earth, Storm Sanctuary is back at Biarritz. I can't say this word. Biarritz.
Biarritz.
Storm went there on a rescue because Akujan's army was taking out, killing, maiming, destroying left and right. She tried to save a couple kids, was not able to save their parents. The son is bitter and is probably going to come back and be an assassin, Kill Bill style, in the future. Foreshadowing. But you know, she hasn't left. She has not left because the city has been destroyed. And unlike other superheroes who are like, oh, I'll just call damage control and deal with this because this is Marvel, she actually stayed and tries to provide aid to the refugees, both human and mutants, after the damage being done through the Storm section. So here's a soup kitchen for all intents and purposes. Storm has her head. She has her hair tied up with a hairnet in a soup kitchen.
How that much hair could fit inside that tiny hairnet, nobody knows.
Bruh, I'm trying to figure that out, but I thought it was a cute moment.
She used air pressure to condense
air pressure. That's actually not a hairnet. That is complete air pressure or mutant ability kicking in. So
Anton, do you remember the name of this cook, the mutant cook?
I do not.
That cooks for Magneto and
he was in wasn't he in Sword too? Didn't Al Ewing use him? Or was somebody else?
That was somebody else.
I can't think of his.
Yeah, I forgot his name too. I also put him in the Hellfire Vigil stuff. You know, he's supposed to be like, you know, the one of the best mutant chefs.
I remember him. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, Storm must have stolen him from this thing. Stolen him from Emma Frost and Magneto.
Right.
I just misspoke because I said that she stayed after the battle in Biarritz, but this says 3 days before Akujan's invasion of Earth. Are they talking about
the next
one?
invasion?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said every 5 days. Yeah.
Because she said in the next 5 days. Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure I didn't screw that up and misread that. So Storm is as I said, she's in the soup kitchen. She's trying to help people. She's giving food out. And all of a sudden, you see in this last panel, she gets activated. Her eyes start glowing. Is that her sensing something? What's going on?
She got angry. Someone, the character, I was about to point to the screen like you would see it. There's a character behind her in the first panel. That's Jaden. So Jaden whispers to her ear, telling her probably the current situation, and then she gets angry, like, oh, oh no, you didn't, that kind of thing.
I see. So this is a human and a mutant fighting. These are refugees. They're fighting over scraps. And Storm says, "Kasufit." I can't say that. I can't say
Sa,
that.
yeah, ça suffit.
So
Sasufi.
Sophie,
Oh, of course, Antoine knows speaks French because he's
yeah,
an international man of mystery. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
that's enough.
It's done. It's finished.
Okay. I thought it was just La Fine or Elfine. No, let me stop. I can't speak French. But she stops them from fighting.
You're like Armor, Paul, and the other page. I don't know if that page is on here where she's like, "Don't make me speak French."
Yeah.
I didn't put that in here. But we get back to what I was talking about with your exposition. This is a lot of word bubbles. Christopher Claremont is somewhere salivating as he reads your work. This reminds me of me. But it's all important stuff. I mean, this is character development we have here. And we get into this really interesting discussion. You mentioned before about immigrants. And, I'm from a family of immigrants as well. So this really spoke to me. It says, as a people, we have always endeavored to assimilate into human society, dining on their cuisines, sharing their language, living where they live, everything. We served and protected their people, yet it did not diminish their animosity toward us. They could not see past our mutant gene. We attempted to separate ourselves. Genosha, Limbo, Utopia, Krakoa. I mean, that's a good just rundown by itself of the mutants' history and trying to
Of
fit
how
in.
many attempts they've tried,
They have tried. I mean, people forget, and they're like, especially old-time mutant fans, X-Men readers, who are like, I hated Krakoa era. I hated the way the X-Men comics are done now. They should go back to the way they were. Well, they tried that because the way they were was we're all trying to make Charles Xavier's dream come alive. They did it a number of times. It always ended in misery every single time. Although I don't like talking about Limbo because they literally put Storm in Limbo and sidelined her character, which I never liked. All right, that's a whole other story. We had our own culture that felt like a long lost home, spoke our own euphonious. I don't even know what that word means. Euphonious language. I gotta look that up. Somebody look that up for me. This guy's got a library. We had our own.
You said, wait, what about it?
What does euphonious mean?
So it's like it's pleasant or musical, harmonious.
Musical.
Yeah. That's
Man,
the best way.
you just look that up. Stop.
No, euphonious. Well, if you there's a story behind that, but go ahead. Yes. No,
right.
but no.
But you just looked it up.
No, I didn't. Okay.
No. Okay. I thought you did.
I'm just a moron, apparently. We were a people united, yet it did not diminish the fear and hatred of us. You HH comment, you good phones. I know this brother looked it up. Stop, Derek. Yet did not diminish our fear and hatred of us. They still could not see past our mutant gene. In both circumstances, too many, it seemed as though evil won, but I believe that the day that we turn our backs on those in need, no matter their race or creed, is the day evil truly rises victorious. And as she's going through all these flowery words, and you're hearing the music, and you're hearing God Bless America, and you're getting all this wellspring of positive energy, the last you have someone's head decapitated under the words evil truly rises victorious. It is not a Murewa Ayodele book unless someone loses a head.
Yeah.
You've had 2 heads lost so far. This is a bloody issue. In one issue.
Yeah, just to talk about
this
speech. Yeah, the speech, the discussion with Storm here.
Which before
Um,
you go into it, I wanted to say it was cool. I know we couldn't put all the pages, but I really liked the page where it was showing her skin and the mosquito that
oh yeah, that she
trying to
used
bite her,
the lightning to kill
the
it.
lightning to kill it. I just had to say that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that is.
That was
So
cool.
so there are two philosophies when it comes to, allow me to generalize, when it comes to, when we're talking about black liberation.
Mm.
And it's Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. And Muhammad Ali falls into the Malcolm X camp. And Muhammad Ali gives a story which I kind of say in a different way here of, if there are 10,000 snakes, rattlesnakes, gunning at you right now, and 1,000 of them are good snakes, and they're like, what, we'll protect you, we do all those stuff, we do everything, do you leave your door open for 10,000, for the 10,000 snakes to come in, or do you just close the door on all the snakes, and it's it's a sentiment carried by a lot of people saying that, black people can't truly thrive in America because of the systematic racism. It's just there. And the best thing is for them to go back to Africa, where they can be with their own people, and there isn't that type of racism, where they can thrive. you know that's the first philosophy. And the second philosophy is, we can all unite, no matter your skin color, no matter your creed, no matter anything. If you are the descendant of a former slave owner or a former slave, anything, you can all, you know, we can all work together, and be one nation, where we are not judged according to, color of our skin, but the strength of our character. That's the two philosophy here. And I'm not, in this story, we're not saying, one is better or one is anything, but it's just a little bit of nihilism here. It's, while writing that page, it to me feels like both philosophy, as that currently, I don't know about the future, currently still has a lot of pain and hurt. You know, people that have accepted, Martin Luther King's, philosophy, are still going through, systematic racism, in places like the US, like the UK, places where even, immigrants in other places abroad and all those things, But the people at home, looking at Malcolm X's, philosophy, people at home, even though they're not suffering from, that kind of racism, didn't weren't spared per se. They now suffered from colonialism and the effects of colonialism. You see the massacres that happened in Congo. You see the Mau Mau massacres. Even after some countries got, independence, you see some of the after effects of some of the things they've done. Like the Rwanda, civil war kind of thing, and so many, deaths and atrocities, in Africa, and that's the home base, where we were separated, and it just feels like either home or away, we weren't left untouched. You know, the people that avoided colonialism met racism. The people that avoided racism met colonialism. They never leave us alone, and it seems we can't control, and it seems we couldn't avoid any of those two things. But the only thing we can do is, our individual selves. How do we carry ourselves? How do we approach life? How do we, look forward? And that's the message, that I was just trying to pass across, with that little speech.
It's well said, man.
Yeah.
So on this next page over to the right, the war above all, the near future, we see this entity going to various places in the world: Washington, D.C., Lima, Peru, Makoko, Nigeria, Greenland, basically saying, your world is done, your leaders have abandoned you. Um, you know, the end is nigh. Come join us. Um, can you describe what's going on here?
Um, that scene was inspired by the Vietnam War. During the
Propaganda.
Vietnam War, yeah, there's this radio propaganda that was always playing consecutively that says GI, the government has abandoned you, you cannot dig foxhole to hide in GI, you know,
Hey, Black
and all those
GI,
things.
why are you fighting against us? We're
Yeah,
not. The white man treats you like trash. You should be with us. Why are you fighting
so
the white
yeah,
man's war against us, other people of color?
so it's inspired by those things. So it's me saying that um a Doctor Strange that is not bound by ethics or morality would use some of those tactics that Earthers use in warfare, you know,
Mm.
and trying to use the indivision that's in the Marvel universe, mutants and humans already have, and the distrust of the government that everybody already has, and try to use it to further, split the planet. So everything this thing is saying, it's about distrust in Storm, distrust in authority, distrust in government, and also distrust in human mutant relation.
This entity refers to your protector has left you, Earthers, has failed you. Which protector are they referring to? Storm?
Storm, yeah, it reveals that in the last page.
So in essence, Storm is being declared Earth's protector, Earth's mightiest
Yeah.
mutant hero, what have you. I see. All right. Aurora Monroe, the storm god and protector of Earth, has failed you, Earthers. Abandon this sinking ship, Earthers. Surrender now, Earthers. The only being who will stand in his way is Aurora Monroe, the Weather Witch, who has mastered
Was
no mystical art. There always seems to be a subtext of Storm has this mystical ability, but she either refuses to really tap into it or just doesn't have the skill level to deal with it. Are we
or
building
at
to
least,
a point where she's forced to make one of those choices?
yeah, we're already there. We've we're already pushed her to the level where she has to acknowledge, mysticism, and start, approaching it and starting to learn. But she's no master yet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She's still a yellow belt.
Yeah. By the way, there's this last page. This panel is from a last page that for some reason, the digital version of the issue didn't have it on the day of release, but Marvel has updated it now. So if you got this book digitally, just delete and re-download, and you would have the last page. Not everybody was able to see that last page, because I've seen a lot of YouTubers already make videos, and they didn't see the last page.
Mm. That's why
So,
you should buy the physical copy. But I'll digress.
yeah, the physical copy has it. So.
So you just finished sitting here talking about Aurora has failed you. She's to protect the Earth. She's failed you. Storm took it personally and yells, "Dead man walking. There are fates worse than death. I will subject you to all 7 of them if you do not leave my homeworld now." What are the 7 fates worse than death?
Yeah, it's just a cool thing to say. I have no idea.
It
what
is
those
very
things
cool to
are.
say. Now you've got me intrigued.
There are
Exactly. Like that. Like I'm like I don't know, but I'm sure Storm knows them.
Yeah. It's like if you can Google it, it comes up. I did look them up. I can't remember all of them right now. One of them was like fear, like being like endless pain. One of them was endless pain. One of them is like extreme isolation, stuff like that. So yeah. But I thought this. Well, number one, I love this page. I love how she looks here. It reminds me of Lucas Wernick, actually, how she looks in
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
Very Lucas Wernick reminiscent. But if you notice, look what she's wearing, Paul.
Yeah, I was about to say that, and I love the detail that it's still torn
Right.
from her last battle.
From my dad.
The
Yeah.
artist didn't miss that and say, "Oh, well, let me just put her in this design." He kept the fact that it's damaged armor from her last battle.
Yes.
I love that.
Right. I think it's hilarious that she put that on, because I'm like, why? Hey, why did you put on that tattered armor when it's just like
you have this other rogue storm power. Why do you even need the armor at this point?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
it's like her safety blanket, right? Because she's
Yeah.
dealing with these mystical forces, and we just talked about
And
the fact that
vibranium does well with mystical energy.
yeah, that's true.
it does well with that, but she still doesn't want to unleash and tap into her mystical powers. So she's using this as a safety blanket to to fight mystical forces without tapping into powers that she refuses to, dip her full leg into. She's dipping her toe into it. She won't jump in. So I think that's what we're seeing here, which means in the next issue, I think this armor is going to have to come off because she's going to have to go full in.
Well, this is the future, so we won't see it next. I don't think we'll see this next issue. Probably a little later in the future.
Yeah, the story will continue from the mutants with the head blown off.
All right. So what do we have next, Maria?
I think, do we answer questions or do we go to the sneak peeks?
Just real quick, the cover by Torrin Clark was an homage of this classic X-Men cover, X-Men 145, in which we first see Dr. Doom have his amorous feelings towards Storm made known.
Yeah. It's also the first issue or first time we see her teleport on lightning too.
Yeah.
Good deep cut, Antoine. Nice. Yeah. The dinner that was referenced in one of the early parts of Morea's run.
Yeah.
Where they talked about them having dinner. That dinner takes place in this issue as well.
Rogue Storm is also from here.
Yep. One of 3.
Yeah, this is a major, honestly, this is a Storm key.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a Storm key.
This is a Storm key. If you are a Storm fan, you should have. I think I've got a couple copies of this, but you should definitely have a copy of this in your collection.
Yeah, if it wasn't key before, it's even a key now because of how much it's been referenced in this current run.
Yeah.
And you've canonized or recanonized the fact that is an ability that she's had, and she still has, and will have in the future.
That she has the power to transform her body. Yeah.
Which goes back to the thing I said at the beginning of the show. Is Murewa Ayodele indeed the greatest Storm writer of all time? We'll see. We'll see. Look, before we move on, there's a lot of people watching us right now. Please, if you're liking the content, really would appreciate if you just take a second hit the like button. I think we're like 20 people away from being at 5,600 people. Just hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, there's no reason not to. You subscribe, doesn't cost you anything, and it lets you know when we do these shows in the future, and you'll be automatically notified. Just hit the little bell next to the subscribe button. And there's a new button on that YouTube has called the hype button. I don't know what it does. I probably should research it before I say that. But hit the hype button, because why not? We all want to get hype. All right. Next issue: to save Storm from the war above all, the mysterious entity abducts Aurora out of the multiverse completely. Storm must find her way back to Earth 616 by any means necessary. This image, is that from a cover or is that from interior work?
That's the cover, but it's not the finished cover. We couldn't release the finished cover for some reasons. So basically, what the cover is basically, on top you see a cover of a book that's coming out that day. By the side, you see a little bit of the cover of the book coming out that day at the bottom. And this one is Storm's cover, and Storm is coming out of our cover.
Who's this artist?
It's still RB Silver.
Okay, yeah, RB Silver. All right, it looks like his.
Yeah, the finished. Yeah, you get it. Looks even better. The finished stuff, but they couldn't release the finished one because it had other comic book covers on it.
Damn. This one on the right. Antoine, you're my cover guy. Who's this? Do you know?
Yeah, Ben Harvey.
Ben Harvey? I was going to say Jeff DeCall, but Ben Harvey would have been the second choice. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Harvey.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yep, I'm pulling that one and the Virgin variant. I had to have both.
I mean,
I think it's the first. I think it's the first cover artist to acknowledge that the gem is gone.
Yeah.
I know.
I
know.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
It almost looks like it was erased. If you see, just because you see the lines, because it's the rings on her neck.
Right.
But there's no the ring lines are gone in that section where the gem would be. It's almost like it got erased.
Well, at the very least, at least he remembered or realized. I appreciate the detail.
Yeah.
Because I don't get why everybody else couldn't get it. It's not that.
No, I think people just like drawing the ruby.
Yeah, they're used to seeing it. And she could own an extra ruby. I
Well,
guess.
that's the thing. That's what I say in my head. It's a faux ruby. She just put another one on there because she likes.
It's not her mom's.
Right. It's not her mom's. It's just another one. It's costume.
She got the Storm Sanctuary. She's got to have a 3D printer somewhere in the Storm Sanctuary. Right?
Yeah. And I mean, I would think that when she goes to battle, she's not wearing her real. I always thought she wasn't wearing her mother's ruby. Anyway, I thought it was just like a simulation of one, like a fake, and then she keeps the real one at home so nothing happens to it.
Yeah. You see other covers.
Oh yeah, Kevin Wada, Betsy Cola is the Ultimate Farewell, then Kevin Wada is the one in the middle, the purple one.
I love that one.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of J Hero's style. Shout out to J Hero.
Yeah, I thought the same.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. The rendering style, the color harmony, everything.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's dope. All right. Oh, what do we have here?
Oh, look.
Let's go full screen.
Let's go full screen. Where's my producer? There he is. Talk about
this. Yeah, so this is a sneak peek.
Wait. Is that Maggot? I thought he's dead.
Maggot. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens next issue.
Shout out to Maggot. Is this a flashback or is my man back?
We shall see. So that's for next issue. Storm and Maggot.
Don't tease me, bro. I need Maggot to be back.
I
finally
love
got respect for a character I detested for many years.
I love how
Storm says it's the afterlife. I hadn't thought of that.
He's got a good eye. I love how Storm draws Federica's hair. I love how Federica draws Storm's hair because
Mhm.
Storm is like half hair and half human.
Her hair is fully grown back, apparently.
Her
Turns
hair
out.
is the height of
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah,
6
this
feet
might
of
be.
hair.
Damn it, this might be the afterlife. Look at the way her hair is floating up in the air like that.
yeah. Does that mean Storm is dead?
Nah, I mean she could visit the afterlife. It's just a realm, right? It's Marvel.
Someone
Death
did
is-
abduct her, Ravs, after all.
That's right. That's right.
She's not in 616 right now.
Yeah. She's in another realm right now.
Somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, she's gone all the way to resurrect Magneto. She went to the afterlife. It's like taking a bus with her. All right, what do we have here? We have the dead
Who's the
X-Men.
dead X-Men,
Death had incorporated many dead, heroes from wherever.
A lot of them died during Krakoa era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Ooh, I had not thought of that.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happened to all the dead bodies from the Krakoa era? Death actually claimed them.
They mentioned it. It was interesting. I don't remember what book it was. It wasn't even an X book, but it was mentioned somewhere briefly that like there would be consequences for the mutants dying and being resurrected so much with Mister's death. It was briefly mentioned, and I thought they were going to maybe do something with it. But
it's a Thanos book also.
Yes, yeah. But now we are. So
written by I think
So here we
Christopher
are.
Cantwell also.
Does this mean, given that we're seeing the Soldiers of Death here, that we will have another appearance by Jericho Drum in the next issue?
Yeah, Jericho. It's not his secret. It's in the Soul Station. Jericho Drum is coming the next issue.
There we go.
oh yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on in the next issue.
These are the fan arts.
Fan art. That's nice.
Kenya, yeah.
I forgot to submit my fan art that I found that I wanted to have on here. I don't know if Derek loaded it or not. We'll see.
Sorry.
I could say something, but
next.
I would probably get in trouble. Now, this artist has been blazing up.
Yes.
Have you
And
seen
they've
all his
all been
designs, all the
awesome.
Black heroes? Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
God.
they've been awesome. As in,
Yeah.
and not just superheroes. He's doing like Afro Samurai, everything. It's
Yeah,
so cool.
I mean, his art is incredible.
Really cool
Like,
stuff.
I legitimately would buy some of this dude's art.
Yeah, it would look. This
And
would look
those
really good
angles.
on a wall,
Yeah.
framed. Yeah,
Yeah.
for
That's
sure.
incredible. I buy his whole gallery, man. It's.
I've been checking to see if is he selling. I haven't seen him selling anything.
Is
though.
that his name, Shutterbug?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Shutterbug, man. You got mad style, son.
Definitely.
Mike's stuff is always so cute.
Wow, that's cool.
And it was able to do, or they were able to do this thing, Mohawk with Cloud Air. I don't think anybody has been able to do the combo. It's always Cloud Air or Mohawk, but no Mohawk, Cloud Air.
A Mohawk cloud hair. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen someone do that. Another thick storm. Why is much of the fan art storms like mad thick? That seems to be a preference in the community.
Well, I think some of it may be coming from Marvel Tokon too, because she's portrayed as being a lot thicker thighs and everything. So that could be part of it. But I mean, it would stand to reason. She's 5'11" and like 145 pounds, so she should, she should have something. She should have some weight.
And that's muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Storm's proportions have changed also in this ongoing series. Or in the current series.
Oh
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Because we see her working out a lot too.
Yeah.
This was dope.
Oh, Marvel Rivals, yeah.
Mhm.
This looks like an outfit Emma Frost designed for her.
I see what you mean.
What do we have here?
Oh, I saw that one. That one was cool. I remember that one.
Yeah, very expressionistic. Almost like she's a war goddess.
Mm-hmm.
We're down to the hammer. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like it would be one of her ancestors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I think maybe I wasn't cool enough by thinking of a sword staff. Maybe I should have thought of Warhammer.
I think both were appropriate, but I like the sword staff.
This is
Yeah.
another Marvel Rivals influenced outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. This one, I love
Oh,
this design.
I do
yeah,
too.
so-
Yeah, this is cool.
yeah, I dig
This
that.
this can be an X-Men, especially as a leader kind of
Right.
costume.
Yeah. Hmm. I came across. I remember seeing this one. Yep.
Storm, the most badass of all X-Men Black. Happy Black History Month. You ain't fooling nobody, man. Come on. Oh
Yeah,
wow,
this
the
feels like
emotions.
this was like yeah, it's like very classic,
Yeah.
you know,
I love
painting kind of thing.
the detail to her eyes, the color.
Oh my
Mm-hmm,
Like,
god,
mm-hmm.
this is the emotion on his face. It's like she just saw a whole crop get wiped out, and people are desperate, and they're calling to her saying, "Please help us, Hadaria."
Or T'Challa cracking the same dad joke for the third time.
Why does this artwork look familiar? Oh, it's Meech Doodle. Shout out to Meech Doodle.
Yeah,
Dude's an
this
incredible
kind of
artist.
looks like how she was in Rogue Storm
Yeah.
when she was fighting. What's
yeah, the costume. Yeah,
yeah.
this
Mhm.
the
This
I.
costume I have the
It
action
might
figure.
be. Isn't that the Rogue? This is the Rogue Storm costume, isn't it?
Yeah, it is because
It
she's got the
is.
crown
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
Oh, this is
remember
cool.
Marvel Nimbus. I remember that game. I used to love that game.
Go the hair. Good God.
Marvel Nemesis. That was a fun game.
She don't need
Someone
no
always has
cape.
so
She
much
got her
hair.
hair.
Yeah.
Always great to see textured hair on Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh damn.
I remember seeing this one. Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Storm and Wonder Woman.
I'm holding out hope because there was that article Bleeding Cool published talking with Tom Reward about how they make the crossovers happen, and he's basically just like, oh yeah, we'll call each other and say, hey, we want to use this character, and they'll say okay, and the trade-off, and it's like, well, if it's that easy, why don't we have? I mean, we really should have a Wonder Woman Storm crossover. You can't change my mind about it. We should
I do
have.
have that comic with the cover of the two of them on there. I had to get that just
Oh,
Yeah.
I did too. Yeah, I have it.
pure cover
Jenny
by.
Fristen also.
I'm
Yeah,
looking
it's
at it
Jenny
right
Fristen.
now. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was a pure cover by. I don't think I even read the comic.
I
just
did
bought
not.
it.
I haven't taken it out of the sleeve. I just kept it in there, but I had to have that one. But we really should have one. Like, gee,
I think Wonder Woman is slightly more taller than Storm.
All right, we're gonna
Wonder
get
Woman. Yeah.
into the questions. Dr.
Woohoo!
Wizard, go ahead and hit him up. Let's start with the super chats. Is Storm still the regent of Araco and the voice of soul? If so, does this factor in at all with how the gods or other beings within the cosmos see her? It's a good question.
I would like to think something happened on Araco, and that's why she's on Earth. And we will visit Araco in issue 5.
All right.
Spoiler
That's
alert.
all I can say. Yeah.
Loving the bond Storm has with Wanda, are any other of her Avengers teammates going to appear in the series? Will Wiccan be referenced since Storm and Wanda are going to play a part in this series?
I think it's only Dr. Voodoo and different cast of zombie guys. I don't think any other person will be showing up. We had a lot of guest stars in the last run, so we're trying to kind of like reduce it for this run.
Mm.
No, if there are, forgotten, but none yet.
If Jericho Drum has been captured by Mrs. Jeth, where has Daniel gone?
We'll see Daniel in issue 5.
Okay. All right. Maria, have you ever talked with or met up with Chris Claremont? Good question.
Nope. Still in small town in Nigeria.
Yeah, don't you Marvel writers have like your own little intranet where you can talk to each other or something?
I don't think there's one that Chris Claremont and I are both in.
Right.
But I do have an interview where someone will be talking with me and GMD Mateus.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
All right. So Chris Claremont, if you're watching, which you're not, say hi to Maria. Y'all should exchange notes. You know, talk to the brother to give him, you know, your insight.
Tips.
Yeah, I don't think you need tips, honestly. I think you're fine. One of the sisters, Bogey, I think, mentioned offering the Olympians one of the secrets of Wakanda. Was this in reference to the short you wrote for the Black Panther? Ooh, this person picked up on that.
Yeah, we shall see.
Oh man, Maria, if you do that, I'm gonna give you so much props, dude. Whose idea was it to put the little golden storm crown on Storm's chef coat?
That was me. I love anytime Luciano Virtue did it when he came in. You know, we're always so obsessed with the lightning thing. I love the crown, so the crown was always on a costume. But when it comes to branding, I was always thinking lightning. I think Lucas was always thinking lightning, but Luciano brought, that what you can use the crown too for branding stuff. So since then, I've tried putting it there. Yeah,
and that
the chefs.
And that differentiates her from people like Thor because you see the crown
and Captain Marvel.
Yeah. It makes sense. That's how they use it on Marvel Rivals. Her crown, her diadem is her insignia for that.
All right. With all this magic and mysticism, can I request the appearances of Calypso and Madame Slay? Madame Slay, that's a deep cut.
You can. You can request it.
You can request anything you like. All right.
But we'll have to wait and see.
How long until we get the lore of how Storm got the vibranium armor? Now that's a good question. You've been saying you're gonna tell us about that for a while, man.
Yeah, there's so many
dangling threads.
Yeah.
If you leave this many dangling threads as Chris Claremont, then you will indeed be the greatest Storm Rider of all time.
Okay. It doesn't seem like I would get the number of issues that I want. So there's some plot points I might not be able to completely touch.
I'll tell you what.
We don't know what tomorrow holds.
Let's table this for now, and if we get to that point, you'll have an opportunity to tell all the stories and insights of the things that you had planned that you may not have been able to get done. If you so choose. If you so choose. All right. A collective birdie niche. Who's your favorite indie villains? I'd love for indie to buy a dead universe and reimagine everyone as villains to add more foes. What? That's not a question for Maria. All right. 1618 Storm. Ayodele found his soulmate in Frederica.
Just talking about the artworks. Yeah, I put a lot of world elements in my script, so seeing somebody going to town on all the illustration, yeah.
Frederica definitely gets your gore factor. Was that based on Ashtur?
What parts? Maybe when she said the bright lady, maybe. I'm not sure.
Question: do you think the most magic users are tricksters because they are glass cannons and cannot survive direct confrontation with powerful and monstrous entities. Gas cannons.
Yeah, that's one, but also they often face other magical users. So in and when there are no rules, they fight somebody that also has magic that can also do everything they can do and everything. So once that's there, you have to outsmart them. And yeah, it's the glass cannon thing too, because they usually fight above their, like Loki fighting against Thor. Like without magic, Thor would win 100% of the time. So they need to be sneaky. They need to be tricksters. They need to be that. You know. And magic in the real world, or let me not say magic in the real world because there's some, mysticism. But what we call magic in the real world itself too is trickery. Sleight of hands and different things. So even the art itself is has a lot of secret and trickery and things there. So it's just natural for magic and mysticism itself. It's in the DNA.
All right, next question. Definitely, deception is a huge element of magic, even when there is a typical technical aspect like mana,
Mana
or
and magic.
magic cure.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Next. Are you going to break down the magical systems and structures in this comic like the way you did with Storm Gods and the Cosmic Forces?
Um, Not really, because there are a lot of magical books coming out right now, and I don't want to define what other creators can do or can't do. So I'll just be having fun with it mostly.
Eclectic Blurred Ditch. Do you think if Adora dabbles more in magic, they might manifest as elemental or eldritch blades, similar to Pixie's soul dagger?
Um, it's possible, but I think she can do that with her current powers too.
Yeah, she's made some lightning swords already, and lightning spears.
Yeah.
So that's just another day in the office. Talking about tricksters, y'all see how I was talking about Slay and Calypso? I promise I forgot about that line in this issue. I just be wanting to see them again. I get it. I get it. I didn't say you were wrong in wanting that. I just don't know if it's going to
Mm-hmm.
happen. What else we got? Dr. Wizard went to go get coffee. There he is. How long will the war above all compare to the Thunder War? Are we looking at more than 2 issues for that war?
Um, hmm. Let's just wait and see. It's all up on Marvel, kind of. Well, I can take it as long as I can.
Hmm. Does magic still have a cost like it did during Jason Aaron's Doctor Strange run?
Mm. Not explicitly, not really.
Okay. How much time has passed since Aurora's hair was cut? It seems like the extensions are gone and her hair grew back.
Oh yeah, the extensions were gone when she transformed, but in my head, it's been 3 months. Her hair shouldn't be that crazy. 3 months, but Federica is having fun, and I love seeing that big hair.
Yeah.
And you could also argue she's got some type of, special
Hair
berries.
mutation thing,
Hair
something.
mutation. Will Dr. Voodoo make an appearance? I think he's answered that.
Yes, next issue.
Has Marvel Rivals influenced the big heads to add Galacta?
Oddly enough, that was my choice. I think Tom Brevoort has even said publicly like he doesn't even care for the character. So that was just my choice. Um, I saw the old Galactus ghoul thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is an opportunity to like bring out to 616.
Will this Galacta have any awareness of Galactus?
Galactus. Everybody knows Galactus on Earth.
All right. Dr. Wizard.
But if it's cosmic awareness, yeah, probably.
Is the hairnet made of unstable molecules that stretch?
I know, right?
It's a lot of hair.
Yes, it is.
That's a lot of hair. I don't even know how she walks straight with that much hair.
Next question. Will Storm's appearance in the Wiccan book reference your series at all and her journey with exploring magic?
The weekend book is in another office entirely, so I don't even know what happens in the book.
I didn't even know Wiccan had a book. Good evening,
Oh, yeah,
Ayodele.
Okay.
Can we say that Aurora is about to become a point of convergence between magic chaos and science order?
Yeah, before I answer this question, yeah, by the way, I think we got the first proper appearance of the Storm Sanctuary outside the Storm Solo with the latest issue of Avengers by Jed McKay and Farid. So yeah, Farid's illustration of the Storm Sanctuary is gorgeous. I loved it. They even got the pumpkins right and everything. So it's very, very nice. So yeah, Storm has always played, in the middle of, mutation and magic, which is science and magic. She has always played that, and I think she will continue to play in that space and role, depending on how far the creator wants to take, a creative team wants to take it.
Next question. Will the Avengers show up again to help Aurora in this war?
Yeah, maybe dead ones.
Yeah, I don't think they really need to. Or join the alliance of Kushite Dynasty 1 thought Storm was East African. That's not even all right. I don't get that.
I think there were two questions that were separated. Well, sorry, can you send the question as a whole again so I can try to understand it? Sorry.
Silver Space Sentry says, is Storm going to use the vibranium armor to augment her magic powers?
We shall see.
I'm trying to remember, have we ever had Juliet and NECA do a cover for Storm since Maria's been on the book?
No.
Next. Does that sneak peek relate to the War Council's plot to attack in Persephone? It looks like the Elysian Fields, which is where the noble dead go.
Oh my god. Yeah, it is the Elysian Fields. That's what I can say.
Yeah. Get Maria to write the Storm Wonder Woman crossover with Dubia in the mix, no doubt.
That would be
Man.
something. That would be something.
That would be too brutal. They won't want to do that because I'll make every other creator on the book look bad. Sorry. It's be too good.
Maria just popped out his chain and said, I'm the big dog in this house now, Marvel.
Yeah, because dude, I love Wonder Woman so much. I have like Wonder Woman stories in my head. So if it's Wonder Woman and Storm crossover, oh my god, it's going to be nah, they wouldn't try it.
Will we find out what happened to the kid Bishop was protecting in the last run before Eden and Maggot were viciously attacked?
She was
in
this one.
She was
Yeah,
in
she was in this one.
Will we see? I can't even read that. Will we see Storm's orphan sibling living at the sanctuary? I would like to see how they grown skills.
Who are the orphan siblings?
Oh, from the last issue.
Oh, from the last issue.
Damn, yes.
I plan to reveal them much later. Well, so we'll see.
Yeah,
because they are still in Biarritz, France.
The older brother is going to be a whole problem, as we can see. I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
The Larry Wilmore? Am I thinking of the same Larry Wilmore? Anyway, we'll see. Can we petition for Storm Sanctuary to be a major part to Storm's ongoing lore? I mean, we don't need a petition. It's already done. It's canon. Everything Murewa does in this series is canon. It is
Yes,
canon. Emphasize that.
but I understand what they mean. Like, if a new creative team comes up, do they just say, "Oh yeah, Storm Sanctuary has blown up"? Storm is in Kenya now.
That's true.
I get. Yeah, it might be a fun story. Somebody might need to tell a big story that needs some sanctuary gone. But this is what I know about the comic book landscape. If people enjoy some sanctuary enough, even if the next creative team destroys it, when the generation that loves Storm Sanctuary become comic book writers, they will bring it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
I know Chris Claremont. I know Chris Claremont would be proud that Storm is being treated so well under your pen. What happened to Craig of NASA? Why does this question keep coming up? Will we see her show off more hand-to-hand combat skills? Corny ass Craig don't need to come back. There's so much more Murewa can be spending his time with. Do we really need to see corny ass Craig? Come on.
Yeah, I can't say much about Craig. But this issue they have action scenes. I was trying to do some slow ball stuff. But we'll start. Most of this run is going to be slow ball, but we're going to see more action hand-to-hand fights as we move through the series.
So what you're saying is the next decapitation will be Craig.
I didn't say that.
I said that. Does Aurora sing Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody at karaoke? That's a good question.
Only when June is around.
That would make sense.
Out of all the issues you've written so far for Storm, which issue is your favorite or was the most fun to write and why? That's a good question. Good question.
This current one, it's issue 5, and it's for something silly because we have an hairdressing scene where someone makes cornrows for someone. I wouldn't say who. So just having that sequence of someone making cornrows for someone as they talk, and it was emotional and I really, really liked it. So I think that made that issue my favorite. But overall, from like the entire run, for a very, very different reason, and now I'm going to sound like a very shallow person, I think it might be Storm 12, just because of the sick Storm versus Haddad fight scenes. Being able to write it and seeing, sometimes you write fight scenes and you see it in your head, but it's so crazy in your head that it's not being able, it's impossible for anybody to be able to capture it, but Mario Santoro captured it. It was just sick and crazy. There are lots of iconic panels there that still goes around till now. Storm dragging at that, through on the ground. Everything. It's just, it would be nice to say, some deep stuff. It'd be nice to say, where Storm meets the dad. Writing that almost made me cry. There's so many scenes like that, but just the brutality of that, and you don't get to see Storm, cut loose like that, I would say 12 of the entire run.
It's a culmination of a lot of different things too.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. We rarely get to see Black mutants hang out with each other. Man, I've been saying this for so many years. I know you had Maggot and Manifold, but can we get like a full Black X-Men team up with Storm, Frenzy, Prodigy, Sync, Bishop? Yes, 6 pound, 8 ounce baby Jesus. Yes, please.
Yeah, it would be nice. I was building up to that, but I don't know. I don't think I should. I shouldn't have listened, But it got to a point that there was that complaint that I think that I was having too many um black male characters in my comics, that they needed more female characters and stuff. And some of the black female characters were in other series, so it was the black male ones that were free. So yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed having as much black characters as possible in the Storm series. Yeah, it would be nice to have that.
It
Mm.
in the we talked about Chris Claremont a few times. In the Chris Claremont run, some of the best scenes weren't scenes of battles and what have you.
Mhm.
It was like human exposition, like human interest stories. Like the X-Men go to Harry's bar and have a drink. The X-Men go and play baseball. The X-Men go out on the town. They'll go into the city in New York, and the girls will go out, they'll get dressed up and go clubbing, right? It would have
Mhm.
been cool to have the black X women go out.
Yeah,
Let's go to Harlem this weekend and go check out a restaurant and
yeah. The,
have
the reason
dinner.
why we don't, yeah, the reason why we don't have that anymore, and we only have that in specific books, is the number of issues you also have.
Yeah.
When you have 5 issues, when you're only giving 5 issues, and it's like, yeah, 5 issues might be the everything you get, or we'll give you 5 more if it sells. You don't want to have a baseball scene for an issue,
Mm,
because that means you don't get to tell much story.
yeah.
Mhm.
um if my pacing, I would have loved more conversation between Storm and Wanda in this issue. A lot of people said they really loved that dynamic. But even that, I was already getting notes like, Wanda and Storm are talking for 10 pages out of 20. Are you sure you don't want to use your pages better if you have 5 issues? Those kind of things. What if this ends in 5 issues? So are you sure you don't use your pages more wise? And I'm like, yeah, I think I would like to invest in this, dynamic. So some things have to now be short, like two, 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 two. It's also another reason why it's so dense.
Yeah. It
Um,
pains me you're not able to flex your creative juices because of the
yeah, compared to like issue 4, the previous issue 4, where you see Storm changing, undressing, you see Storm taking a shower, you see Storm walking down the stairs. And it just builds mood and atmosphere. And as she sits down, Doom just says one word, green, and you're like, I just feel it. Yeah.
Those were the
So
good
yeah,
old days.
yeah. So yeah, it affects your pacing and all
Yeah.
those things too. Don't have many
People,
issues you
you really
have.
had to be there. That really was a special moment in time when that issue dropped. It really was.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
just had to be there.
So now you see more of those character moments in books that have you know set number of issues assigned to the creator. Like, oh, you have 17 from the get go, you have 18, you have 12, ahead. So you can
Have
slow
more
things
time.
down that way.
Mm.
So that's why you see that more in like the main X-Men titles, for example. Now, yeah, we're just having crawfish, we're just going to the farm, can have that more.
All right, next question. Will we get a Haddad prequel series?
I know, right? It's so nice. But we will get to see some form of Haddad in the next issue.
Cool. I honestly appreciate how you incorporate elements of black culture into this run. Storm is already layered, but these minor aesthetics are essential. I agree.
Mhm.
Thank
I
you.
agree. Is there a huge age gap between the black X women?
Mm,
Marvel
yes, but
curbs ages.
sometimes, but sometimes it's now merged. I think originally Storm was written to be much older than who's the other black female character in X Factor? I've forgotten her name.
Temper?
Raise or something.
Oh, Cecilia.
Oh,
Cecilia
Cecilia Reyes.
Reyes.
Yeah, Reyes.
Yeah. The age gap at some point seemed like it was much, but now I don't even think they write them as though there's a huge age gap anymore. So I think it changes with time.
Yeah. Going more into that, I get you. I get you say you don't have time with only 5 issues, but I want to know who Storm is as a person. What's her favorite movie? Not just showing her get new feeds, but who is she? Well,
Yeah, so I understand that we do sneak that in different issues. For example, in issue 4, we know what's our favorite dishes. It's the one that her father made for her. Um, it's that's one I can remember. It's sneak we sneak it in between different stuff in flashbacks and stuff. You're going to get some of that here too, you know. So we get to sneak them in. So yeah, but I understand you. I understand you. But it's it's spending. It's this page real estate thing that's the issue. So you might not see that much time spent on them. Like you see her in her private time where she walks out, and in issue 2 she spends time with the hippos, Yeah. So yeah, we do see her in personal time. Even the Wolverine issue 3 that people don't like, we do see that. Um, we see the type of fashion. We see our fashion sense. We've redefined our fashion sense in this issue. Um, yeah, I'm trying to remember more and more stuff. So it's there, but we're also trying to tell um, a cosmic thriller in the first one, while here it's more like a mystical thriller.
mm. All right. Any other questions? Nope, that's it. That is all the questions. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the show. Please, again, take a second, hit the like button. Just hit the button real quick right now. It really helps the channel out. It costs you nothing, but it helps the Black Comic Lords grow and allows us to do what we do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell, and you'll know when we do these videos in the future. And please, above all else, share this video across your social media. We want to get as many eyes on us as possible so that we can help the channel grow. Murewa, thank you for your time yet again. Antoine, thank you for your time, sir.
Always.
Meld says, y'all skipped my question about Craig. This is an anti-Craig zone. Meld, I'm sorry. No corner.
I don't have much news about Craig. That's why.
Yeah, that's I know. I was just my own.
Uh, there won't. I don't think there will be Craig in issue 5, but there will be Araco.
There you go. There you go. All right. You squeezed in your last question. Until next time, everyone. Appreciate each and every one of you. I don't know what my next show is going to be. I'm going to try and do an interview next week. I don't know who it's going to be. I've got a list of people. So until next time, Black Comic Lords, we got you.